Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hot Box. Fuck, man, it's been a pretty long time since I put out a UFC video here, guys. Welcome back to the Hot Box. This is Smokie. Want to bring you another episode. This episode is actually where it starts getting really good, guys. We're going to be battling for the WFA Heavyweight Championship. That's right, guys. I hope you enjoy this fight. I really put a whooping on this guy. It was pretty easy, I really haven't played UFC in a while. I've been playing, Call of Duty and, Diablo 3 and, tons of stuff. Skyrim. Oh, man, I've pretty much been fucking all over the games. I've just been bouncing off the wall, switching to different games. I usually don't do that unless I have a lot of time, but recently I've just been, just bouncing off the wall, hey, what the hell. But the topic today I want to talk about UFC 155, awesome event. Every UFC event I say it's awesome. Hey, I'm biased. Come on. Shoot me if you want. Say whatever the hell you want, but I don't care. I'm biased, but I still think other organizations are good too. I actually just recently watched a Belcher event as well this past week, and it was pretty good. I do have a favorite in there. What's his face? Pat Curran. He's a pretty sick featherweight. I would love to see him in the UFC and maybe fight for the title. Definitely. But anyways, enough with that. We talk about UFC 155 and also UFC on Fox 7 if I have time. Actually, I'm just gonna get that out the way. That event, which just happened like a few days ago, it was good. The only part I really loved was the main event. The main event was amazing. I was so happy to see Michael Bisping finally get knocked out once again, like he did. I believe it was like 2 years back when Dan Henderson knocked the shit out of him. And it was awesome. And this Vitor Belfort, I'm not gonna lie, Vitor Belfort looks very good. Oh my god, he was really using a lot of kicks that fight. It's just like strange, like he's just always about his hands. He throw like a little leg kick here and there, but that fight, he was really like throwing tons of body kicks, leg kicks, head kicks, and finally in the middle of the second round, or actually it was mainly the beginning of the round, he faked and went for a head kick, and it hit dead on. And actually, I think Bisping was ducking because he thought he was going to throw, I believe it was a left or right, but he was going to throw that, and he kind of ducked. He was, kind of swerving, trying to get out of the way, and he went right into that head kick, and bam, he went down. And as Vitor does best, when an opponent's hurt, he goes in for the kill, and he always finishes it, and he did it. And grats to Vitor, and I'm not a douchebag. Come on. It's not like I hate Michael Bisping, with a passion or nothing, but he's just always slithered his way. He has beaten people, but he's kind of slithered his way through. I thought Brian Stan was gonna knock the lights out that guy, but that didn't happen. But Vitor Belfort did, and it was good. He was talking a lot of shit about, Chael Sonnen shouldn't deserve that. He wants another shot at John Jones. Hey, I say fucking give it to him, man. He was the one that almost put away John Jones and injured John Jones. That armbar came out of nowhere, and in my opinion, he could have definitely broke it, but he was a good sportsmanship, and he didn't go all the way and end the kid's career. So. Yeah, but that was, UFC on Fox that just passed, Now, let's go back, like, a couple weeks ago back to UFC 155. It was just so good. There was a lot of good fights, not gonna lie. Jamie Varner, Melvin Gillard. That fight, I thought it was gonna be a knockout. It ended up being, they went all 3 rounds. They gave it to Jamie Varner with a split decision. Jamie Varner, he was pretty much pushing the pace a little bit. He was just trying to survive the storm of Melvin Guillard in the beginning, and he did. And he definitely got a couple takedowns, and Jamie Varner got that victory there. I was surprised. I mean, I thought maybe Melvin Guillard would catch him, but did not happen. Another fight, Philip DeFries versus Todd Duffee. Wow, Todd Duffee hasn't been in the UFC for a while, and they actually gave him another shot. He came in and he definitely TKO'd Philip DeFries, which DeFries was going on I believe like a 4-fight win streak. It was crazy, and Todd Duffee comes back, and once again he's starting to knock people out again. So who knows? Maybe Todd Duffee could be this little prospect that comes up and gives hell to the heavyweights. We have to see how it goes. But let's see, what was another good fight? Brad Pickett versus Eddie Wineland. Wow, I'm a fan of Brad Pickett, but Eddie Wineland, definitely he showed a lot more precise technical striking, and it was definitely his reach as well. Brad Pickett kept just going forward, and it just wasn't like, just Brad Pickett couldn't get into motion and get into rhythm, and Eddie Wineland picked Brad Pickett apart. I mean, he couldn't knock him out or nothing. It went all 3 rounds, and it actually went into a split decision, but Eddie Wineland won by split decision, so, wow, that was crazy. Another fight, I thought Chris Leben. I'm a fan of Chris Leben. His first fight back, he's been battling a lot of drugs and all kinds of partying and tons of personal stuff, and he just did not look good. And wow, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, it might be time for Chris Leben to hang it up, maybe. I mean, he lost to Derek Brunson in a unanimous decision. It was just like Chris Leben was not striking as good as he usually does, and he got gassed, I believe, toward the end of the rounds, and it was just like, oh. I mean, Chris Leben, it's his first fight back in quite a while, so maybe it's ring rust. I'm not sure. And anyways, one fight, I was very surprised with the results. Yushin Okami versus Alan Belcher. I mean, I really want to see Alan Belcher do good. I mean, he's been talking so much junk that he's the one that'll beat Anderson Silva, and he was so close to number 1 contendership as well. Oh, but he lost by unanimous decision. Yushin Okami used his wrestling skills. A lot of people underrate Yushin Okami's wrestling, man. He's a really good wrestler. He's Japanese, but he's got some sick wrestling, and he's been training with Chael Sonnen. I mean, Chael Sonnen's one of the top wrestlers in fucking UFC, so come on. But he's really good, and Yushin Okami as well is real strong. He's like a big middleweight, so Alan Belcher could not stop that takedown, and off of his back he tried a couple submissions, but once again, Yushin Okami is hard to submit as well. He has pretty good submission defense, and Alan Belcher could not do nothing, and I feel for the guy, man. I definitely would love to see Alan Belcher fight Anderson Silva, or at least even just get close to it and fight for the number 1 contendership, but things didn't go. Maybe he can come back, start getting another win streak, and do something about it. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, I'm a little stuffy, man. It's so fucking cold down here in Jersey. Oh my god, man. It's like 17 degrees right now. It's sick out here, but oh well. I'm used to it. I'm an East Coaster. But maybe one day I'll move over to the West Coast. I would love to always have that warm weather and fuck all these colds and flus going on. But anyways, the co-main event was a pretty good co-main event. Jim Miller versus Joe Lauzon. It was crazy. What was it? I thought it was going to be a crazy match, But Jim Miller looked it very good on the stand-up striking. I mean, Joe Lauzon was kind of in there, but Jim Miller, I mean, he showed he was a little bit of a better striker, and he was catching Joe Lauzon a lot. They had a bunch of scrambles, and Jim Miller ended up on the top a lot of the time, and he threw a couple elbows, and it opened up Joe Lauzon, and I think that's when Lauzon, like a lot of Lauzon's energy and everything just went out when he started bleeding, and he was bleeding a lot too, man. It was really, really crazy. Like, the whole mat was just in blood. It was like pink. It was just craziness. But yeah, Jim Miller got a nice elbow off, I believe in the second round or the end of the first round. Not too sure. Oh, sorry again. Fuck. Jesus, man. But yeah, Jim Miller got it by unanimous decision. But toward the end of the third round, though, was Joe Lauzon went for this diving leg lock. Oh my God, it was so good. It was like the Rio Chonin, flying, leg lock that made Anderson Silva tap in like half a second. It was crazy, man. And it was close. In the post-fight interview, Jim Miller said it was close. He was deep in it, and he was like oh my God, he just did this crazy sick jiu-jitsu move that you don't really see. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Only the Rio Chonin, flying, leg lock in Pride. But in the UFC, you don't see that much, man. You don't see flying, triangles and arm bars that much, man. That's the kind of stuff I love. It's just crazy, especially when it happens, so sometimes you're kind of talking with your buddies, watching the fights, and, you just kind of turn your head, and then something happens. You're like, oh, shit, man, I gotta rewind that. I gotta see that. But good thing there's always play-by-plays and replays. Because, oh man, I mean, that was a sick leg lock, and wow, if Joe Lauzon would have pulled that off, that would have been like the biggest upset of the new year. I mean, for sure, I think. Well, actually, no, of last year. Sorry, yeah, this actually happened last year, 2012. But anyways, sorry, I gotta drink some water and wet my throat here, because I have to get used to talking a lot again. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, the fight started, and I actually was mixing it up, I mean, I wasn't sure how hard the fight was going to be. I mean, I know my stats were good against this Godfrey guy, but I just wasn't taking any chances. I haven't played UFC in a while, so I just kept on going up and down, head, body, and kept on getting those takedowns. And yeah, I was sitting there in the clinched ground positions so I could cut him up, because I wanted to beat the hell out of this guy. I mean, this is for the heavyweight title in the WFA. I'm thinking I'm probably going to defend it 2 or 3 times before I actually start, fighting UFC caliber guys, because the first guy they're giving me is fucking Nogueira, man, and my submission is not even close to Nogueira's or any of my stats. So only my kicking, I think, is better than Nogueira right now. So I need to work on my stats a little better. But as you can see, I just kept on riding on this dude, just destroying him, man. Oh, it was sweetness. But anyways, yeah, I have to apologize. God, I sound like I'm stuffy, but I'm really not stuffy. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like my allergies are crazy right now. But anyways, let's talk about the main event of UFC 155. Oh my God, what an event! I mean, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I advise you to stop this video right now and go check it out right now, because oh my God, it was just a crazy night. I mean, to this day, I still can't believe how it went down. I mean, wow, the first fight was crazy. Dos Santos catches Velasquez. I mean, one blow, boom. I mean, Velasquez and Dos Santos were both injured that fight. And, Dos Santos was like, hey, man, if I don't try to go for this one shot, man, if it misses, I'm done, because his knee was injured and Velasquez's knee was injured. That's why Velasquez wasn't even pushing the pace the first fight. He threw a couple leg kicks and he was just far away. So, you know, as soon as he came in, you know, Dos Santos was ready, and he just knocked him on the head and he went down. But it was pretty much completely different this second fight. And that's why mixed martial arts is just one of the best sports out there, you know. I mean, I'm a huge baseball fan as well. I mean, you know, I am Hispanic, so, you know, I am Dominican, so, you know, we love some baseball. But, I mean, God, I love mixed martial arts as well, man. It's my, you know, maybe my number one sport. I'm into it, man. And this is one of the reasons why I love it so much. Oh my God, I had goosebumps when the ref was like, "Are you ready? Are you?" I was just like, "Oh my God, finally, man!" Once again, the rematch, and it was spectacular, man. Oh my God, Cain Velasquez came out and he overcame his fear of getting knocked out again. And I don't know, it was a little weird, because in this fight, Dos Santos didn't look like himself, kind of. I mean, I'm not sure if it was because the way it started was Velasquez just went forward, started, you know, shooting for single legs. You know, Dos Santos was holding it. He was, you know, blocking it. He was getting away. You know, he couldn't take him down, but Velasquez kept on putting that pressure, and it was just out of nowhere. You know, Cain just goes for an overhand big right and catches Dos Santos right on the chin. And oh my God, man, Dos Santos just goes down. You know, he's hurt bad. Like, he's hurt. You know, he goes down. Velasquez just gets on him, starts punching him down. Me and my cousins were going bananas. Like, oh my God. I mean, we always thought that, you know, it kind of seemed like Dos Santos was going to be, you know, the new Anderson Silva, and no one's going to touch him. But I kind of knew that the only guy to take Dos Santos out would be Velasquez, and he definitely did it that night, man. Oh, my God. Props to Velasquez. I was going for Velasquez because I'm Hispanic, too. You know, Brown Pride, he is repping it up. And that was just awesome shit, man. I still can't fucking believe it. I watched that fight, I don't know, like 10, 20 fucking times, man. Just crazy. And bam, just like that. I kind of wish Velasquez did what I just did to that guy right there, like completely knock him out. But no, it went all 5 rounds. Dos Santos, pretty much with that big overhand right in the first round, like, Dos Santos was just out of the fight, you know. He kept trying to come in there, but he was exhausted. Velasquez was a little tired, but he was just pushing it, kept throwing him around, just punches in the face. Oh my God, it was just a grueling beatdown, and Velasquez is once again the UFC heavyweight champion, man. 2-time now, baby. But I know there's going to be another fight, and who knows how it's going to pan out. But props to Cain Velasquez, and props to Junior Dos Santos. He's a tough son of a bitch for taking that beating, and, you know, just, hey, man, he took it. You know, no excuses afterwards. You know, he was just like, hey, man, it was Velasquez's day. But just like Velasquez said in the first fight, he will come back for his belt. So, well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. As you can see, we won the title with the WFA heavyweight champion. As you can see the stats there, I destroyed this guy. But yes, you know, please like, subscribe. You know, I'm gonna really get into this. I've found this new motivation. I love doing this. You know, this is my hobby now. So I don't care about, you know, I get fans, groupies, whatever. This is my hobby. I like doing this. I love talking about MMA and video games too. So don't get it twisted. I love both. But this is Smokie, guys. I will talk to you guys next time. Probably next week. See ya.
I hope you've had a chance to soak it in as the real test now begins. You've got some options ahead of you now. It appears you've caught the attention of the UFC, and they would like to make you an offer to appear on an upcoming card. You have the ability to continue in the WFA and defend your title if you wish. While dominating as a champion may impress the UFC even more, and they may come back with a better offer down the road, losing means you'll have to work your way back up again. Decisions, my friend. The choice is yours.